different link for this live. For some reason, it wouldn't let me switch my orientation for the scheduled live that I had planned. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time to hopefully get alerted. So hopefully you have like the bell notification on, because then you get an alert that I'm actually live and you have to jump on this live instead of the other one. Anyway, okay, see Maggie is on, Fernando is on. This is a good sign that you guys are getting the alert that I'm now live. We're gonna wash our brushes together. Sorry for the weird angle, but this is like the best scenario that I could come up with. And I tested out a couple this morning trying to figure out if I should go live in my bathroom, if I should go live in my kitchen. Ultimately, my kitchen is just the best idea. So best lighting too, by far. I have a black bathroom and then like a really small little other bathroom that's like white. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm letting you guys jump on because I don't want you to miss like the important nitty gritty of this live. And this live is going to be all about, oh, thank you and happy Sunday, you guys. If I didn't say that, I'm so sorry. Happy Sunday. I'm really excited to wash brushes together for once and not be alone doing this. So hopefully you're gonna grab your brushes. I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need. If you don't have the BKB brush bar soap, obviously that just came out, so it's more than likely that you guys don't have it, but I'm gonna show you how to use like a solid round brush soap. I also talk about all the time like how I wash my brushes with Dawn dish soap. Here's the reality of like the two things. Brush soap that's in a bar form is going to be a lot quicker and it's going to rinse out a lot faster, and it's a lot less sudsy than like Dawn. So Dawn takes a lot more time and a lot more elbow grease essentially to run your brushes and get all the soap and the suds out. So it just takes longer. So brush soap like in a solid form is much more convenient. So I'm going to be teaching you how to use a solid brush soap. If you didn't know too, after this live is up and uploaded to my channel, it's going to live there forever. So the good news is you can always go back and watch this video. And in the description of this video, I'm going to make sure I link Lisa J's video on how to wash brushes, because she has the same techniques as me. So just, you know, same techniques, different delivery, different background. So I'll link her video, which is so easy to watch and beautifully done too, by the way, very aesthetically pleasing, a lot more aesthetically pleasing than what you're about to see today. But I'll link that video in the description box. So without further ado, if you didn't know, I'm going to be giving away my 7-piece brush set with BKB. So one lucky winner is going to get my whole set. And also, I actually originally thought I was just going to be giving away this when I was talking to BK Beauty, and they're like, no, you're going to give away both. So one lucky winner, I'll announce how to enter to win the giveaway. It's going to be really easy like it normally is. It's never like a huge song and dance that you have to do, but you'll be getting both sizes. So this is the travel size, which retails for $12. Really good deal, very affordable. And then the full size is $25. More cost effective because you just want a lot when you're washing your brushes, and you know, more is more. But for traveling purposes, like if you're going on like a long trip, something small like this, or if you're a makeup artist and you wash your brushes on set occasionally, having something like this that's small in your kit is really handy. So one person's gonna get both sizes. And oh my God, the smell of this, by the way, you'll see my face jump in and out of frame. It is what it is. Like I can't get my whole body in at all times. But if I wish you could smell this, it smells so delicious, so good. It's coconutty, but very, like, it's actually more like, it smells more like fresh to me, like fresh and like very clean. But there is coconut oil in this, which is really great for like conditioning your brushes and making sure that they don't dry out over time. Therefore, the longevity of your brushes is going to be there. And that's what you want. You want to take care of your brushes, because in brushes, they're not like makeup where they're more disposable. Brushes are an investment. So if you treat them right, you'll have them for legit your entire life. So I'm going to start the process. If you're washing your brushes with me, I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need. Now, if you don't have a cute aesthetic BK Beauty towel, just get any towel. Sometimes I just use like a beach towel. Like I'll lay out a beach towel, I'll fold it, lay it on my kitchen counter or my bathroom counter, whatever. And then that's the towel that I'll use to dry my brushes. I'm going to be using this one because it was gifted to me by the brand and it's just so cute. I mean, come on. They really thought of everything. So step away for a second. I'm going to lay down my towel. You got to get your station ready. Okay, so this is how you get your brush cleaning station ready. Get said towel of choice. Lay it flat. Grab all your dirty brushes, okay? I'm not gonna wash all my dirty brushes. These are about a quarter of the dirty brushes, and I have a load of dirty brushes in my pro kit from working this week. So yowza, I have a lot more to do, but I'm not gonna torch you guys because I have too many. So I'm gonna teach you the best practices to make it easier to wash your brushes. So grab the dirty brushes. You wanna start, I should probably take my rings off, but it's fine. You're gonna wanna start with lukewarm water, not scalding hot and not icy cold. And you ever notice, like, when you're washing your dishes and your dishes just come out squeaky or clean when you're using like warm or hot water? You wouldn't want to use hot, like I said, but when you're washing your dishes and you're using like you're washing a dirty pan, it's like coated in grease. It's got dried spaghetti sauce and like whatever it is in there, right? And you're trying to use cold water, it's not going to break down that dirt and the grime and the grease as well as using warm or hot water. In this case, warm is the way to go. Do not scald your brushes. It could dry them out and it could really damage them. So lukewarm, think like if you're gonna put your baby in a bath, like lukewarm water is gonna be perfect and all you need. So let me show you the inside of the brush cleaner. So this is the solid. It doesn't come out, it's attached in there. And then this is the like scrubby mat. The great thing about this too is it actually does come out. So in case you want to clean this little behind the tin, it's not gonna like build up, you know, mildewy excess dirt and water. So you can actually take this out and you can hold this in the palm of your hand. For me, I'm just gonna put it back in the cap, push it back in there, and I'm gonna do scrub-a-dub-a-dub just like that. Okay, for the sake of this video, I actually put lukewarm water in a bowl so that way I'm not running loud water constantly on this live, and that could be really annoying to listen to. So you could do this, it's optional. I actually like to do this because it does save me time turning my sink on and off over and over again. It's like this adds up to like minutes that I just want to save. Okay, now grab your brushes. Here's what you want to do. You don't need to wash one brush at a time. I'm going to tell you what singular brush I'll say for individual like one-on-one time washing. That's gonna be the 101 brush because that's a bigger, more dense brush and it just needs more time on its own to get properly cleaned. But when you're washing, like let's say you have multiple powder brushes, you want to grab and wash like-minded with like-minded, okay? So you wouldn't want to wash this N15 with a dirty N17. And let me tell you why. They have two different kinds of formulas on them. This is gonna have oily products, like oil-based products. It's gonna have like products that contain sunscreen, products that contain, like I just said, oils, moisturizers, stuff like that. So the product that's gonna be in your N17 brush is gonna be a lot more gunky, for like lack of a better way to put it. Lisa J is in the house. It's gonna be a lot more like gunky. And so when you're washing this brush, if you were to wash it with your N15 or any of your powder brushes or your eyeshadow brushes, you're just gonna end up actually getting that brush dirtier. Defeating the whole purpose, we wanna work smarter, not harder. So wash like-minded with like-minded. N17 should be washed with like-minded N17s or brushes that have like-minded products on it. So for example, your foundation brushes should be washed with your foundation brushes. Your powder brushes should be washed with your powder brushes. Oh, that was a lot. I'm sorry for the long-winded explanations, but this video is gonna live on my channel for a really long time, and I wanna make sure it's as thorough as possible. I do have a very old brush cleaning video that's on my channel. It's like more vlog style, but it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. So this will be like new and improved. Refer to this one, it'll be easier. Okay. Now, like I mentioned, you don't have to wash one brush at a time. We don't have time for that. Grab 3 if they're larger brushes or medium-sized brushes like the N15. 3 would be the max I would do for this size of brush, this size brush. So what you want to do, I'm just going to show you once and then just know that I'm dipping into a bowl of water off camera because of that's the best I could do. All right, I'm going to dip in. Okay, so now they're wet, obviously. Take your brushes, and notice how I'm always holding them downward. You want to always hold all of your brushes on a downward angle, because the last thing you want to do, and honestly the most important thing you want to avoid, is getting water into the ferrule of your brush. That is when your brush starts to break apart. That's when you start to lose fibers, and you don't want to warp the inside of the brush. This is very important. So everything I'm doing is going to be at a downward angle. Now, if I wasn't showing you guys my arms, my posture would be a heck of a lot better because I would just be down like this. But to show you all, I'll lift my arm up, downward angle, and notice too, I'm not like smashing them in. I'm getting just about, I'm kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm not using like an immense amount of pressure. You don't need to smash your brushes into anything that's going to damage them. Be gentle. I'm only like bending them about halfway. So now your brushes should look like this, nice and sudsy. So then you squeeze out all that makeup. Do you see that? That's all makeup that's rinsing out. Now for the sake of this video, to show you the right way to do this, I am going to run some water for a second. Hold the brushes down. I'm going to tilt you a little bit, okay? So hold please. Okay. Hold the brushes downward angle until they run clean. Okay? Don't waste your water. So then once you've gotten all the soap out, you want to gently squeeze the brush. Now when you're squeezing your brushes, this is also very important. Don't squeeze and pull. Never squeeze and pull. Just squeeze and slowly get to the end without pulling them. Okay, you want to be gentle with your brushes. They're, like I said, they're a lifelong investment. Just be gentle, especially when they're wet. You could loosen up the ferrule if you accidentally like get too much water into the ferrule, loosen up the glue. So don't ever pull, be gentle, just squeeze. All right, so this is what your clean N15 brushes will look like. Now what you want to do from here, I like to actually grab a portion of the towel and I like to squeeze the excess. Okay, just gently. Just squeeze gently, don't pull. Just squeeze, take the excess product out, okay? So now this is your brush. Go back, lay them flat to dry. Do not put them in a cup. The last thing you want to do is put them in a cup or like your brush container, because any bit of water that's still left in the bristles, because there's definitely gonna be some water in here still, will seep down into the ferrule. And these are wooden. These are classic wooden brushes. So over time, when wood gets wet, it can warp. And when it warps, it expands and you'll start to see them bursting at this tip right here, like where the ferrule and the wood meets. You want to avoid that at all costs. This is how you get your brushes to last you your entire lifetime and not get wrecked. So lay them flat like that. Okay. All right. And I'm so sorry if you missed anything, and don't worry, everything's good. This whole video is going to be uploaded to my channel, so you can rewind it if you miss anything. If I'm talking too fast, go back, rewind it, and watch it again. Let me show you some more brushes to wash, okay? So now I'm going to grab, let's grab all of, or majority of, my N13s. Okay. So my N13s, right now I have 6 in my hands. They're dirty, they're eyeshadow brushes. So they don't have creams on them, they don't have liquids. These are gonna be a lot easier to clean. They're gonna take way less time to clean than like your foundation brushes due to the product that is left over on the brush. So with these brushes, since they're a lot smaller, notice I'm holding double than what I held with the N15. I would wash up to like 7 or 8 of these at once. I just have 6 that I have available to show you how to wash. So grab 6. Don't waste your time washing one at a time. Nobody's got time for that, okay? So grab 6 or however many you have, and if you have different ones from BK Beauty, different blending eyeshadow brushes, as long as they're about the same shape, you can wash them together. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna dip into the bowl of water, and I'm not soaking my brushes. This is something I wanna talk about that is also very, very, very important. So, you never want to put your brushes into a bowl of water. You never want to submerge them into water in your sink. Why? And could you get away with this at times? Yes, but over time it's going to break down the glue. It's going to get into the ferrule. It's going to warp your wood brushes, and then your brushes are going to just go and separate over time. It may not happen overnight. You may have gone away with it many, many times. But I'm telling you, if you want your brushes to last the rest of your life and not have to worry about replacing them because you ruin them, do not submerge your brushes in water. I promise you, it's the fastest way to ruin your brushes. Okay, 6 and 13s are wet. Dip in, face down, not holding them like this because that water's gonna go down into the ferrule. Medium pressure, not too intense, not too light. Now I want to show you too the genius part here, and this is really going to be the most handy for like your dirty foundation brushes. A scrubber like this that has, like, it's silicone by the way, that has like these grooves on it is going to make it so much easier to get in and like break down that makeup that's in between the bristles that you can't even see. So it's going to be a game changer. So take your brushes. I'm going to work it into the silicone pad or mat. I'm right-handed, by the way. It just looks opposite because of how I'm filming. And do this a couple times until they're really nice and sudsed up. Do you see all that beautiful sudsing? Oh, like that's what you want to see to look like. It should look like this, beautifully sudsed and ready to go. Now I'm going to squeeze off. Do you see all that makeup? Okay, now we're going to rinse. Turning on water for a second. Hold, please. Facing down. Run into the palm of my hand just a couple times. And you'll notice too, as I was running the water on top of it, I'm gently squeezing. I'm not pulling, but I'm gently squeezing, getting all that excess soap and water out. Just like that. Now, if I was using Dawn, which I've used for a million years as a makeup artist, like a million trillion years as a makeup artist, the amount of like rinsing and repeating that you have to do when you use a liquid soap versus a solid bar soap is a lot more time consuming. So this you really only have to do a couple times. Squeeze them, grab the mat or grab the towel. I just run it to dry it down a little bit more, lay them flat, and those are good to go. Okay, let's do something more difficult. I want to show you how to clean your 101 brush. Now, like I mentioned, I always clean the 101 brush solo. This is a solo cleaning brush. I would never want to grab 4 of these because it's a bigger brush and it's predominantly a foundation brush, right? You can use it for creams, liquids, things like that. You could use it for powder, like powder foundation. It's actually beautiful for that. But typically speaking, we're using the 101 bad boy for liquids and creams to get it on quick, efficiently, and just easy, right? So this is gonna have this, for me, my 101, I use a lot for like skin tints and I densely pack it on for more coverage. But long story short, this 101 in particular has a melting pot of so many different skin tints and liquid foundations coated in the bristles. Like this 101 it has been put to the test, like for weeks and weeks. I have been holding off washing this brush because this brush does take me a bit more time because of how many liquids and creams are in this brush. So solo washing for a big denser brush like this, I'm gonna dip into the bowl. I'm gonna submerge it, but I'm not going like this. Just don't ever do that. That actually gave me anxiety. Don't ever do that. Dip in. I'm gonna take out some of the water. Grab your solid. Circular motions too, if I didn't describe that or explain that in the beginning. You don't need to go like this. That's not gonna do it. Swirl. It's round for a reason. Swirl it in. Okay. And let me know if you guys can see okay, if it's like a good angle and stuff. Swirl it in, and then it should have a ton of bar soap on it right now. I'm gonna take the scrubber. This is where it's really, really gonna come in handy. Same technique. You're gonna swirl, circular motions, breaking down all that excess makeup. And then here's the most satisfying part. Cool. So here's where you want to rinse and repeat. We're gonna do the same process one more time to get the 101 properly clean. You wouldn't want to stop here because you can still see visible makeup. So running water, downward angle. Round 2. So back in the solid, swirl, circular motions, If I'm missing questions, I apologize. It's all about, we're gonna do this together, and I'll try to answer as many questions once I'm done. I'm gonna do like a designated like Q&A, so I'll sit down for a couple seconds, or a couple minutes, excuse me, and I'll answer some questions. So if you wanna hold tight on the questions and just follow along with me, wash your brushes, and then we'll get to them, because I know I'm missing a ton. So now swirly swirl into the cap. Swirly swirl. Everything's gonna be linked, by the way, in the description box. So my brushes, both sizes of the bar soap are gonna be linked. So the small one and the actual large one. Look at all that. We may need to do a third round because I haven't washed this 101 brush in a really long time. And this is also why I say, like, try to wash your, especially your complexion brushes, as much, like at least once a week, because the longer you go, the more you have to go back in and do it 3 or 4 times to get all that product off. So if you're waiting like months to wash your complexion products, or complexion brushes, excuse me, it's gonna take you many rounds to get all that built-up of foundation and creams out of the brush. All right, so sudsy sudsed, swirly swirl. You can actually see the foundation coming out right now. This is so satisfying. My sink hates me. It's like covered in foundation right now. Swirly again. I'm gonna go back and forth a few times. All right. Squeeze out, and we are looking much better. Let me rinse this one off. There we go. All right. Squeeze out the excess one more time. Dry off the handle. You don't want the handle to be soaking wet because, well, it could lead to it damaging the ferrule. So let's move on to N14s. What do you think? If you have N14s, grab your N14s. Let's wash the N14s together. It's a really easy brush to wash. So I'm gonna grab as many dirty ones as I have. And I have a lot of dirty N14s. I have, let's see. So I have 6 dirty N14s, and honestly, these are small enough still that you could wash all these together, as long as they weren't coated like really, really filthy. A few of these are pretty dirty, I'm not gonna lie. Like this bad boy, these 2 bad boys are really, really dirty. But I'm gonna show you, like, for timing purposes, I'm gonna do all 6 of these at once. So downward angle, push them so they're all leveled, okay? So not one's up like this. They're all leveled like that. Okay. Dip in, don't soak. You wash off this brush soap. Downward angle, swirly swirl, lather lather, scrub a dub dub. Okay, just say those things in your head the whole time. Swirly swirl, lather lather, scrub a dub dub. By the time you say that, you'll be done, hopefully. Okay, so they're nice and sudsy. I also sometimes just use the palm of my hand and just to kind of like work the soap into the bristles. Swirl, twirl, and work. I love that song. So swirly swirl. It may look like I'm using a lot of pressure, by the way, I'm not. All right, they are nice and sudsy. Let's squeeze out. Oh yeah. So rewarding, so rewarding. Facing down. Okay. I know some dog is barking. Let me shut them out, sorry. Okay, now they're all facing down still. When they're wet, don't go like this, keep them down. I'm gonna gently squeeze out the excess, okay? Just like that. Now, one thing you wanna look for when you're rinsing your brushes out, if you use too much soap, make sure when you're squeezing them that you don't hear any like foaming. So that means you don't have all the soap out. There's still some soap left in like the ferrule or like in the bristle. So if you hear like a foamy sound, that means there's still soap in there. So, all right, just gonna squeeze these one more time. Lay them flat. I'm gonna dry off the handle. And now let's get to the N17. The N17 is a little bit, it could be a little bit more finicky to wash at times because I use it for so many products, and because it is a multi-purpose brush, you end up using it for more of an extended period of time before having to wash it because it's double-sided. So let me show you what I mean in case you don't know. And also I'm gonna just go out there and tell you I wouldn't wash more than 3 N17s at a time. Probably even 2 at a time would work. Thank you, I'm glad you like my pants. These are like my get stuff done. This is like my get stuff done outfit, honestly. Like this is what I need to go grocery shopping and just get stuff done, like wash my brushes. Anyway, so the N17, it's dual fiber. This size for powders, as you all know. I'm sure you know by now. And then the front size for like cream blushes, cream bronzer, cream highlight, cream foundation, liquid foundation. Anything cream or liquid that you want to use this side for, you can. And this side, anything powder, so powder bronzer, powder blush, you name it. So these brushes tend to be a lot more dirty, okay? Because you can use them for so many things, right? They end up having a lot more product on them than not. Like a lot more product will be on these brushes than like your N15 brush. So, you know, actually the reality is if you're really in a pinch, you can wash 3 at a time if they're not super duper dirty. But I'm looking at these 2 right now and I know these are really, really dirty. So I'm gonna wash 2 of these together just to be a little bit more like, I just wanna be more like effective with this washing, okay? So face down, always. Dip in, okay? So I'm not soaking them, just a reminder. Not doing any of that crazy stuff. Gonna go swirl in. Can you hear that? That's the sound of clean brushes, which equals good makeup for me for the rest of the week. All right, lather, lather, twirl, twirl, scrub-a-dub-dub. Okay. All right. Do you see all that? This is like a makeup artist's dream because of the way it foams. And I want to tell you something really quick too, just because you're gonna be like, oh, that N17 still has blush on it. 2 of my N17s at this point now are stained from the Milk Makeup jelly tint, like those cooling jelly water blush sticks. Those things are lethal. They stain everything. So they're gonna still look a little beautifully tinted pink. It's all good. It's no big deal. All right. Gonna swirl. Lather them really nice. Okay, so now they should look like this. Squeeze out. And then here's my clean N17. And then my beautifully pink tinted one, courtesy of Milk Makeup. So now we're gonna rinse. Song, it smells very like fresh and clean. Like it smells amazing. So facing down. I'm gonna make sure the water is running clear. If the water is running clear, they're clean enough. So the water ran clear, these 2 bad boys are clean and they're ready to lay down and take a nap. I'm gonna dry off the handles. And you basically wanna be a factory when you're washing your brushes. You wanna like rinse, repeat, swirl, twirl, you know, scrub-a-dub-dub, repeat, and then before you know it, you're done. So it's kind of like you just turn into like an assembly factory of just cleaning your brushes. Yeah, Jennifer, I love that. So 2 more very dirty N17s. I'm gonna dip into water. We're gonna swirly swirl. Same thing. I'm ready to take a nap as well. Gosh, me too. Do you have any tips for reshaping super dense brushes? Yes, Courtney, that's a great question. I am so happy you brought that up because I'm gonna show you once we're done, I'll show you how to like lay them down so they actually dry down in the original shape, okay? I'll show you what to do and what not to do. I will, Maria. Mitch is at the house right now working really, really hard. So we're swirling. I'm actually gonna go into the cap because this is really handy at breaking down that foundation. These 2 N17s have a ton of built up foundation in them. All right, before we rinse, Don't pull out, just squeeze, squeeze, don't pull. All right. Let's check, make sure this rinse is clean or clear. Yeah. So notice I'm still holding them down the whole time. I'm not pulling, I'm just squeezing, 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 squeezing. Making sure there's no suds coming out as I'm squeezing it, making sure there's no foundation coming out as I'm cleaning it. The water is coming out of my hand clear. You can't tell because it's going on my skin tone, but it's coming out clear. That means that these are 2 clean brushes and they're ready to go take a nap. All right, I'm gonna clean just a few more on camera, and then I really wanna get to questions because I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of lost in the shuffle, and I wanna make sure I answer all the questions you might have, so there's just nothing left to the imagination, basically. All right, let's do some dirty N16s. This is also a brush that, shamefully, these brushes are always packed with makeup. I use these for so much: cream eyeshadow, liquid eyeshadow, cream concealer, liquid concealer, powder, buffing, whatever, like you name it. I use the N16 for so much stuff. So same thing, dip, so they're wet. Trying to do my best to show you everything. So sorry. Oh, thank you, Carrie. That's so nice of you. Yeah, you can actually see it a lot more because my YouTube channel, you can't really see, like, you only see from here up, so you don't actually see my hair. There's my hair. My girl Tessa did a great job. So scrub-a-dub, swirly swirl. So I'm not going like this. You don't need to do that. Don't push them too far in. Just gently swirl back and forth, circular motion. Just follow the grooves of the bar soap, okay? All right. So one more thing, I'm gonna go swirl into this one more time. Always facing down. This is a great question from Lourdes. What's your opinion on those electric brush cleaners? I think that they ruin brushes. I think the water gets caught up, you have no control, and I think that they're gimmicky. No one get mad at me for saying that. I think that they're terrible, to be honest. I don't think they work. There's nothing like having the control and washing your brushes by hand. Your hands are gonna be a lot more gentle on these tools, and keep in mind, BK Beauty brushes are made by hand. Hand cleaning is the way you want to go. Anything electric, you just run the risk of water getting pushed up into the ferrule, and therefore, I'll save you the explanation again, but it's going to warp and damage and can break apart your ferrule from your wooden handle. You obviously don't want that. So squeeze, make sure the water's clean. So I'm hearing a little sudsy suds. That means I didn't rinse the water or the soap out enough. Downward angle. Try this again. Okay. Watching from Canada. Oh. Sending my love to Canada. Squeeze. Water's clean. There's no sudsing noises. Okay. These N16s are ready to lay down and take a nap. All right. I think we'll just stick to that for this video because I want to answer a lot more questions, and I still have a ton of dirty brushes between my makeup kit and the rest of my personal ones. So we're gonna save these for a rainy day. For when I'm alone and sad, I'll put like some music on. I'll talk to Barry and Tomas, and I'll wash them with them. So I'm not super lonely. But I want to get to how to lay them down to dry so they don't get ruined. But I'm gonna move you guys, okay? So hold, please. Please don't judge my dirty kitchen. We're gonna go like this, okay? All right, so for example, let's say you wash your N15 brush and it looks like this. Now, do you see how it's misshapen? And it's kind of like off to the side. Before you lay your brushes down, you wanna reshape them, okay? So the shape of the N15 should be domed. So you wanna lay your N15 down like this to dry. So it's not gonna dry misshapen. This will keep the integrity of your brushes long term, okay? So now that bad boy's good to go. Same thing, let me actually tilt you down a little bit more, okay? How's that angle? Decent? Same thing, I'm going to reshape the N15. Okay. My other N15. I'm not pulling it out, I'm just reshaping it to be a dome once again. Look at that. Okay. Same thing, like if you were to go like this with your N13s and they're like kind of frayed and they're kind of going all over the place. With these, I just kind of do them all at once, honestly. Just delicately reshape them so they're back into its original shape. It should look like this. Now the 111, excuse me. Let's say you washed your N11 or your 101, excuse me. Why do I keep saying what? My N11 is my angle brush. So let's say you washed your 101, and this is a really cool brush because it's got that angle to it. So let's say you washed it and it's kind of like frayed out like that. You don't want it to dry like that. Grab it, reshape it. Okay, just between your fingers, just reshape it, get it nice, and boom. That's how your my God, I cannot stop calling the N11. That's how your 101 brush should lay down and take a nap and dry down, just like that. Same thing with your N17s. You don't want to leave it like that to dry, right? Like you wouldn't want to be like thrown on your towel. I mean, it'll still work, obviously, but like you want to just gently pull it, flatten it out, reshape it like that, okay? Same goes with all the other brushes. The N14, you don't have to worry about it. It kind of just goes back into a dome shape automatically. But in case you're really rough, just reshape it. By the way, if you're seeing like a stain in my nails, it's liquid eyeliner that I picked up without the cap and it's stained the inside of my nail and it's driving me nuts. Okay, so your brushes, I'm gonna lay them flat just to show you what they should look like one last time. And then we will go answer any and all questions I possibly can about brushes. Okay, so that's how you want to lay them flat to dry. And one other thing I want to mention is, don't mind my fridge. My house is a mess right now, okay? I'm moving next week. So one thing I want to mention is you could, a lot of people will say like, you want to make sure you're drying your brushes at an angle. So like, let's say your towel is flat. People say that you need to have it tilting down. Listen, the reality is that's being overly cautious, okay? That's okay to do if you're not confident that you didn't submerge your brushes into water. If you're not confident that you don't have a ton of water in the ferrule of the brush, then yes, this would be a good extra step to ensure that you don't warp your brushes. However, for me, and the way I want you to wash your brushes is making sure that all the excess water is out, so then you can just lay them flat to dry and call it a day. I'm gonna move you back over here because it's just a little bit cuter over here, I think. I don't know, maybe not. All right, now that we're done washing brushes, let's answer some questions. Okay, I'm all yours. I hope this answered hopefully any and all questions you might have had about washing your brushes. If you asked me a question and I missed it because I was washing them, please feel free to re-ask me here. And also you can ask me in the comments of this video once it's uploaded, because I'm sure I'm gonna miss quite a bit. Okay, is there anything special we do with the soap, like drying it, or? That's a great question. So when you're done washing your brushes, your soap is gonna look like this. Rinse it off. Rinse it off. Shake it out. Okay, just like that. Make sure there's no leftover makeup in the bar soap because you don't want it sitting there over time. That's just gonna be gross. So leave it like that. You can lay it down to dry it down a little bit. I don't think it's necessary, to be quite honest. So now the scrubber pad, I'm gonna rinse it off. I'm gonna remove the pad from the cap, making sure there's no trapped dirt, excess oil. And I'm gonna lay these bad boys down to dry. Okay? Just like this. Simple, easy. Okay, so that was a great question. I'm so happy you asked that. Let's see, I know I missed a lot of other questions. So is it okay to clean them with liquid soap? I don't have that specific soap. Absolutely, and I talked about this in the beginning of the video, so I would say like rewatch the video in case you missed this. It's a great question. bar soap and solid soaps are they're a lot more like time saving basically. Liquid soaps like Dawn take a lot more time rinsing and repeating, and they suds up so much, and that liquid is a lot less controllable. Whereas if you're using a solid soap, you have a lot more control over like how much soap is getting into the brushes. Whereas the liquid soap, it gets in there and who knows where it goes. So it takes a lot more time to rinse and get all the soap out. So it's therefore a little bit more time consuming. Your opinion on BK Beauty soap versus e.l.f. soap. I haven't tried the e.l.f. soap. I didn't even know they had a soap, to be honest. Should I use nets to keep their shape? No, I really don't think that's necessary, to be honest. I've worked with makeup artists for like years and years who like will come to say and all their brushes are wrapped in those things. I think as long as you are doing what I just did, where I reshaped the brush to its original form to lay it dry in that original shape, you're fine, not necessary. What is a smaller version of the 101? I believe it's the 111 or 116. I'd have to look it up. I will link it though. I'm linking all my favorites from BK Beauty, by the way, in the description box of this video. How often do you need to wash your brushes? It really is up to you and like your lifestyle, honestly. I try to go for like every 4 days with complexion brushes, or at least try to have like some clean complexion brushes, because complexion brushes are the ones where you don't have as much time. You can't get away with having them dirty for an extended period of time, right? So if you're using a really dirty foundation brush, it's gonna actually affect the outcome and the look and the wear time of your liquid foundation or your cream foundation on your skin. Whereas like eyeshadow brushes, you got a lot more playtime. Powder brushes, you got a lot more playtime before you have to like actually wash them. Foundation and complexion brushes like concealer, especially as well, they're going to affect the outcome of your makeup, and it could just make your makeup look terrible, to be honest. Monica says, yes, it shows. Can you recommend a brush holder for my vanity, something that's covered to avoid dust? Oh, little owl. Let me think about that. That's a great question. Do you wash brand new brushes? No. Conditioner for natural brushes. I don't use natural brushes, so I don't know of a conditioner. You could probably just use like a baby conditioner, like a baby soap, would work. I just don't use conditioner. And honestly, the BKB one has coconut oil in it, so it's gonna be conditioning for your brushes. That's like one of the reasons that ingredient is in there, is to maintain the softness and the flexibility of the brushes so they don't get dried out and crack and break over time. Okay, Amazon has several covered. Oh, cool. How long does the soap last? I don't know, Anna. I just got it, so it's my first time using it. It really is going to depend on how often you use your brushes. I think the big one is the way to go, just because you're going to need a big one, you know, like if you're washing your brushes, you know, the right amount of time, a big one is just going to be a great buy. I think it's a great buy at 25 bucks. And the small one is great for travel, like really great for like throwing in your makeup bag and traveling with. What if I only use makeup for special occasions? Should I wash them right away? Tiana, it's a really unique question. I would say, let's say you do your makeup once a week. I mean, is that too much to say? I would say wash them after every 3 uses then, if that's the case. And also make sure they're covered, because if you're not using them often and they're just out and exposed, they can collect dust, airborne junk that's in the air, and then just cause like your makeup to look kind of terrible. Could we sun dry them? You could, but depending on the brush, the sun might fade the color of them. So I wouldn't do that. Also, you're out there in the elements. I just wouldn't do that. I would keep it in a nice closed, controlled environment where it's not too hot and all that. A few peeps asking about double-ended brushes. Same thing. And honestly, this is one of the reasons why I hate double-ended brushes, to be fully transparent with you, is because it's just, they're harder to store, they're harder to clean, they're harder to keep both sides clean and pristine without ruining the other side. Completely a personal opinion. I know a lot of people love them, but I'm just not one of them. Okay, just bought the brush soap and can't wait to use it. Alicia, you have to let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, hopefully this video answered all of them. But if you guys, do you feel like you got a really well-rounded like peek into how to clean your brushes? If there's anything that's missing, if you have any other questions, please leave them here. I would love to make sure I just get everything answered for you all. How do you wash a sponge? I don't use sponges really anymore, and if I do, it's when I'm in a really huge hurry. But bar soap, like actual like solid soap, like that brush soap, you could use for sponges as well. You wouldn't want to use Dawn, that's for sure. Get trapped in the sponge, be a nightmare to get out. Okay, any other questions? Have you or anyone here used Zote? I used Zote because so many of you told me to use it. This was probably like last summer. Zote left the nastiest film on my brushes. It made them cloudy on the handle. So I don't use that, and I don't recommend that personally. I know it's really cheap and accessible, but I just feel like it leaves a like kind of a film on the brushes. So okay, how do you know when a brush has ended its life? If it's separating, if the ferrule is like warping. So if it's warping and you're seeing like the wood separate from the ferrule, if it's shedding excessively, then it's probably time to get a new one. Hi, Nikki, just wanted to peek in quickly before work. Oh, Christina, have a great day. Thank you so much for stopping by. How long do you need to dry on the towel overnight? I usually just do overnight. Overnight's usually the way to go. As long as you rinse out most of the water and it's not sopping wet when it hits the towel overnight, usually like less than overnight, and it's good to go. Question, how long? Okay, hold on, let's see. Is it okay to dry them with a hair dryer? Yes, light heat though, but really only if you're in a pinch. I have done that on set where I haven't allowed enough time. Not my fault. Like I've gone home from work super late, washed my brushes late at night, woke up at the crack of dawn to get to set, and my brushes have been damp, and I've just used a blow dryer to do the rest for me. I wouldn't rely on it in a pinch. Totally fine. I love Dove soap yep, that could leave a residue though. All soap is antibacterial. Do you ever pre-dunk your brushes in micellar water? I don't find it necessary. You could, definitely you could, but I don't find it necessary, to be honest. I've tried Cinema Secrets. It's good for like spot cleaning on set or like in a pinch, but I wouldn't rely on it as your main source of cleaning. Which eyelash glue do you use? I use Ardell Stronghold, and it's very good. Okay, let's see. Let's keep it to brush cleaning specifically, just because I want to make sure I answer all like brush cleaning questions you might have just in one video. Where can we get the towel? It was part of like the PR package for BK Beauty, so they're not selling it, but any towel, I usually use just like any hand towel, doesn't matter. It's not microfiber, it doesn't need to be microfiber. Does not need to be microfiber at all. I find that like a beach towel, that your hair towel, whatever towel you have, it's don't overthink it, just lay it down on a nice towel. It has to have like some thickness to it so it absorbs any excess water. That's the whole point. We had to go, oh no, Michael. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, sending you so much love. Full list of ingredients on the website. Yep, everything, and I'm gonna link it in the description box, don't you worry. And Carrie, I'm using a Kosas blush. I can't remember the shade, and I'm using the Dior highlight in like 100 or something underneath. I did my like trick where I do like highlight first and then the blush on top. Okay, did we tackle all the questions? I think we did. Is there any other questions before we hop off? And I want to tell you exactly how to enter to win the giveaway. I think we got it. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. I hope this was fun. And also, like, little side story, this potentially is my last live in this house, and it's crazy. Like, if you saw the rest of my house right now, it's like filled with boxes. Everything's like being taken apart. My artwork is off the walls, and it's starting to feel like very real and like very sad. I need to pack up my studio next, which is going to be an absolute nightmare that I don't look forward to, and I've been putting it off nonstop. Also, I can't pack up my studio yet because I film 2-3 times a week, like long form videos. So anyway, feeling a little sentimental. I won't be in this kitchen anymore and like things like that. So kind of sad, but also I'm very, very excited, and I'm just very grateful and very excited to be moving and to have like new space and just more space. So, all right, let's talk about the giveaway, because I know we're nearing the end of this live, and I had so much fun, honestly, washing brushes with you. I could do this. Maybe we should do this like once a month or like once every other month. Let me know if that would be fun for you. But to enter the giveaway, Everything is going to be listed out in the description of this video. So once this gets uploaded to my channel, it's going to live there forever. Click on the description box and it'll tell you exactly how to enter the giveaway. But just a couple little snippets that I'm asking you to do in order to win the giveaway is to be subscribed to my YouTube channel and Lisa J's YouTube channel. Leave the soap, like little like turquoise soap emoji that we all have, I hope, in the comments of this video, and also Lisa J's video where she explains how to clean your brushes. That video is going to be linked in the description box as well. Bonus brownie points if you're following me on Instagram. Make sure you check in on Wednesday because that's when I'm announcing the winner on my YouTube channel. Now, if you don't know how to find where the announcements are, if you go to my YouTube page and you kind of scroll, I believe, to the right, you'll find something that says posts. Click on post. Okay, it's kind of like the Facebook feed of YouTube where I talk about, like, I'll post pictures, I'll post, that's where I announce the winners and like giveaways and stuff like that. So I'll be posting that there. So check that out. If you entered to win, make sure you go check that out and see if you were the winner so I can contact you. And as always, make sure you are just using your best judgment. I'll never reach out to you from a third-party app like WhatsApp or anything like that. So just be very careful. There's a lot of scammers out there and I want you to be like very, very careful and on like high alert because they are rampant these days. That is all. I love you all so much. I had a blast. I wish you could see how dirty my sink is. It's covered in makeup right now, but I hope you had fun. And if you have any other questions about how to clean your brushes, if I left anything out, I really hope I didn't, but leave them in the comments of this video and I'll make sure I try to answer them the best I can. But sending you guys love, wishing you guys clean makeup brushes, wishing you guys a great week ahead with great makeup because your brushes are clean and your makeup will look so much better when your makeup brushes are clean. But I hope you have a great day and I'll see you actually in 2 weeks because, by the way, sorry, one more thing, I won't be live next week because I am in the middle of moving next week. I'll be moving from Friday all the way to probably Wednesday of next week. So it's going to be a long move of finishing up construction and things like that. So I'll be back the following week. I'll have a giveaway and I'll miss you guys until then. Bye, you guys.